A sunny Sunday in San Diego. It's been a little choppy on the water for the D-backs, but looking to ride the wave out of here with a win today. The last time the Diamondbacks were swept in this ballpark, June of 2013, so needing a win here to salvage one in this series. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is presented by Sanderson Ford. And good afternoon from Petco Park. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly along the way. The Diamondbacks and Padres. This is it for the series and for this road trip. Chip Hale decided today. One guy who needed a day off was A.J. Pollock. So today it's David Peralta in center field, and Cliff Pennington gets the start in left.
Obviously, experience level is fairly low, 9 total innings. So just going to try and go out there and, keep it simple and just try and do what I can to help us win.
This is an offense that needs something here today, though, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we need to get things going, but we've been a good offense all year, and nobody's panicking from a bats standpoint. We're going to go out there and do our thing, and, whether we score 10 or 1 tonight, we know we can hit, and, we'll keep that going all year.
Well, Bob, it worked in an emergency situation in Anaheim on the last road trip.
Yeah, first play he had out in left field, relatively routine, little pop-up. He's caught 1 million of those in batting practice. The next one was a little more of a tester, even for an experienced left fielder. And then the last play was outstanding. Got over in the left field corner, threw out a runner trying to go first to second. He looks like a natural out there.
Well, he's out there today. Odrisamer Despaigne is the starter for the Padres, the Cuban junk baller. And for the D-backs, it's Chase Anderson looking to rebound from a rough start against the Rockies, but good numbers this year versus these Padres.
Yeah, really good against the Padres this season. If you look back at Chase Anderson, he's had 3 bad starts this year. The first 2, he came back in a big way in his next outing. Hopefully he'll do the same today.
Gave up 3 homers in that start versus Colorado at Coors, trying to keep it in the ballpark here today. Big home run last night, trying to learn from a loss. Justin Upton went deep. We'll tell you why Chip Hale said it was his fault last night. And then it's first pitch, the Diamondbacks and the Padres on Fox Sports Arizona. Arizona is brought to you in part by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. And by the Bureau of Tobacco, secondhand smoke makes everyone a smoker. See how you can live smoke-free. azsmokefreeliving.org.
Back here at San Diego, our exclusive coverage of Diamondbacks baseball continues. Third and final game of the series, Diamondbacks and the Padres. First pitch coming up in just a moment. I'm Todd Walsh here inside the Arizona Diamondbacks dugout. One last look back to last night's game. Jeremy Hellickson got knocked around early and late, 7 runs, 10 hits. But the game really swung in the balance of the Padres with 1 at bat in the 5th. 2 outs, a runner on second, first base open, full count to Justin Upton. Hellickson went after him. Upton got him, opposite field home run, and that pretty much was the game afterwards. Diamondbacks manager Chip Hale, well, he more or less fell on the sword for that one.
You have certain people on teams that you try to make sure don't beat you, and he's the guy on this club, and it's just disappointing that he was able to get that ball on the outer half and hit it over there right. It's a long way, but he did it. I just kicked myself, in that situation. I need to either walk him on 4 pitches and make it better, make it more clear to our guys that he's the guy that's not supposed to beat us. So I take the blame for that.
And so, too, did Jeremy Hellickson after the game, so plenty of accountability to go around. Thank you very much, Money. I appreciate that. Water, always critically important to hydrate here in San Diego with the high sun. We'll take a break here. When we come back, it's time for first pitch. Steve Bethune, Bob Brenly have the call. Diamondbacks trying to reignite their offense here. It's fallen on hard times of late. They need to put some innings and crooked numbers all together. We'll see if they can do that in a matter of moments.
Drisamer Despaigne and the San Diego Padres. Diamondbacks in the Sunday Sedona Red trying to snap a 3-game losing streak and salvage the series finale in San Diego. And in doing so, will try and avoid their first sweep here at Petco Park, Bob, in 2 years.
Yeah, the team just has fallen on some hard times with the timely hits. Anytime you look at any ball club around Major League Baseball, if they have a stretch of a week or 10 days or 2 weeks where they're not winning ball games, it usually comes back to one of two things: poor starting pitching or a lack of timely hits, and the Diamondbacks have suffered from a little bit of both on this road trip.
Well, there is a military flavor in the air here today, as the Padres always do for their Sunday home games. They're wearing their camouflage tops. They have some naval officers out positioned, 9 of them across the field, and here come the Padres, who always do such an outstanding job here supporting our military servicemen and women.
Yeah, this ballpark, among all the major league ballparks, you try to honor them as best you can on a daily basis, or at least one day a week. The Padres do an outstanding job. It's always been a big military town, and the city has embraced the military. They've embraced the Padres, and the Padres and the military have embraced each other here at Petco Park today.
It makes for a fun environment. A lot of naval songs being played over the PA.
Had a flyover before the game. A couple of helicopters blew right over the stadium. That was quite a sight.
I noticed there were 2 helicopters that flew over.
Yeah, there was some question as to how many would actually be involved in the flyover, but 2 was plenty.
Well, on the mound for the Padres, your Arizona 4 starting pitcher, Odrisamer Despaigne, and he's got about as many different pitches as he does letters in his name.
Yeah, I don't know if we have enough TV screen to put all the pitches that he throws, and throws them all from a variety of arm angles. He'll rely mainly on a couple of different fastballs, a 2-seamer, a cutter, throws a changeup, throws a curve, throws a slow curve. He may invent pitches out there as the game goes along. Just try to find the release point as best you can and be ready to hit the mistakes.
Despaigne has not won a game this month, but he did beat the Diamondbacks here at Petco Park back on April 14th. The lineup for Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondbacks, and as we discussed, kind of a different look here today.
Yeah, a little bit of a different look. Nick Ahmed once again in the top spot. He'll be at short. David Peralta in center field today. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Yasmani Tomas out in right field. Jake Lamb at third. Aaron Hill at second base. Wellington Castillo back behind the plate today. Cliff Pennington with 10 innings under his belt in left field this season. He'll be out in left. And Chase Anderson, the righty, on the mound.
This was the helicopter flyover.
Oh, man.
Pretty cool, right? Right
Buckle
over
up.
the ballpark.
That's always cool.
Nick Ahmed back in the leadoff spot. Odrisamer Despaigne out on the mound, and we are set for baseball. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. The series and road trip finale at Petco Park. Nick Ahmed at .232 and 4 home runs. Pat Hoberg is our plate umpire today, and we are underway. This is hit in the air near the left field line. Justin Upton drifting over there. 2 pitches, 1 out for Despaigne. A look at the Padres defensively this afternoon.
Well, we've seen Justin Upton at work already out in left field today. Will Venable once again in center with Matt Kemp over in right field. Will Middlebrooks and Clint Barmas on the left side of the infield. Yangervis Solarte at second base. Yonder Alonso at first. Derek Norris behind the plate for right-hander Odrisamer Despaigne.
Diamondbacks will try and contain Justin Upton at the plate today. He's been a problem ever since he left Arizona. Had the big home run last night, as you heard Chip Hale say. That was my fault for not intentionally walking him. David Peralta in the 2-hole, 264 and 5 homers. And today his first start and first appearance in center field this year.
As far as Chip, as Todd called it, falling on the sword for that pitch that Jeremy Hellickson threw to Justin Upton, I think it's all part of the learning process. You learn which pitchers you can trust to keep the ball away from the dangerous hitters in a pitch around situation, and you learn which guys need to just go ahead and intentionally walk the guy.
And Despaigne, with all that junk he throws up there, gets Peralta way out in front and has his first strikeout.
Variety of pitches at a variety of speeds from a variety of arm angles, just tries to confuse opposing batters.
2 outs on 5 pitches. Paul Goldschmidt batting .351, 20 homers. Giancarlo Stanton, Nolan Arenado, the only players in the majors with more RBIs. And only Bryce Harper has a higher OPS. Only aggressive up there. A big hack at the first one, and it's 0-1. Yeah, if there's such a thing as a crafty righty, it's this guy.
I'll tell you one thing we know about Despaigne is he wastes absolutely no energy or effort doing anything other than throwing a baseball. We saw him take his warm-up pitches before the game. It looked like he was playing catch with his grandfather. Doesn't come out into the on-deck circle before an at-bat, just goes straight from the dugout to the batter's box.
It's a concentrated effort. This is hit very high and deep to left center field. It's a big ballpark. Upton is on the track, and he's got it. A 1-2-3 first for Despaigne underway in San Diego. Here comes chin-ups for Chase back after this. Coors Field last Tuesday to open up this road trip. He'll end it here in San Diego. He's your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks, and here's his game plan for today against these Padres.
I just want to go deep in the game. I want to control the counts. I want to attack with the fastball, get ahead with the fastball. And, the outings that I haven't pitched well in, it's just because I haven't established the fastball and had good command. And the changeup is not as effective. The curveball is not as effective if you don't have the fastball. So just to control and attack the counts with the fastball and just work from there.
Well, for Chase, the loss at Colorado last week, just his second this year and his first since the last week of April. Matt Kemp in there to lead it off for the Padres. 247 and 5 homers. And he looks at ball one. Kemp has 3 hits in the series, including a pair of doubles, 2 RBIs. It's a warm day here in San Diego. The numbers on Kemp. Cool and overcast yesterday, sunny and warm today. Chase usually has the long sleeves on underneath. Not today, though. Trying to stay more aerodynamic out there.
Faster arm speed with no sleeves on.
Pick up an extra mile or two on your fastball. 2-1. This is launched to left and way out of here. Matt Kemp, his 6th, 1 batter in. It's 1-0 Padres. Well, we talked about Chase. He had given up only 3 home runs all season going into his last start. Gave up 3 versus the Rockies at Coors Field. And Kemp takes him deep here at Petco Park.
Not that you can ever excuse home runs, but certainly at Coors Field against that Rockies offense, you can understand how a guy could give up 3 if your command is not good. But first batter of the game for the Padres launches a missile into the bleachers in left field.
And Hervey Solarte. Kemp, over the first 56 games this season to start his career as a Padre, had only 1 home run and didn't hit his 2nd homer this year until June 6th. but he has picked up the power production as of late. And they've been waiting for it. They estimate that at 395 feet here off the Western Metal Supply Company building in the left field corner. One pitch. Solarte gets this up in the air. Peralta's out there in center. The lineup, Pat Murphy's Padres, who are looking for the sweep today.
If we just start over, Matt Kemp at the top in right field, Solarte at second base, Alonso over at first base. 3 solid games against the Diamondbacks recently. Justin Upton out in left field, Derek Norris doing the catching, Will Venable in center field, Will Middlebrooks at third base, Clint Barmas at short, and Odrisamer Despaigne on the mound.
Well, they're trying to solve the riddle of Yonder Alonso. The shift is on, as you can see here, but he's done a good job in this series of going the other way to left center. Right-hand side overloaded for Alonso, who's at 324, a pair of homers. That OPS is all on base percentage. It's over 400 for the year. Very little slugging in there. Just 12 extra base hits all season. He rolls one up the middle. Backhand stop is made by Lamb with the shift on. Behind the bag at second, that's a 5-3 putout. Brings up Justin Upton. He had the big home run last night. Gave the Padres the lead for good in the 5th inning. It came on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs from Jeremy Hellickson.
Right off the top of the right field fence. Still counts the same as an upper deck home run, but Jeremy Hellickson got to that full count. Instead of pitching around him, he tried to challenge him on that outside part of the plate, and Upton made him pay.
Well, they had done a good job of pitching around him in his previous at bat in the 3rd inning. If he gets Upton there, he's through the 5th. It's a 2-2 ball game, and that was a complete game changer. This is Sky to left center field. Pennington and Peralta are out there. Who's got to run it down? And it's David. 2 guys who have not worked next to each other at all this year, certainly. Pennington and Peralta left and center. Padres strike first on the Kemp homer. They lead it 1-0. First night at Chase Field is coming up Saturday, July 18th. The D-backs will welcome Luke and Leah and the whole gang for the Diamondbacks and Giants game, and 20,000 fans get this one-of-a-kind item, an A.J. Pollock Star Wars bobblehead, lightsaber and all, courtesy of Cox Communications. Get your tickets right now at dbacks.com. D-back Nation with us all weekend long here in San Diego. Couple of Cubans going head-to-head here. Yasmani Tomas and Odrisamer Despaigne. Despaigne, after a 1-2-3-8 pitch first, will face Tomas, Lamb, and Hill. 4, 5, and 6 in the Arizona second. 320 and 3 homers for Yasmani. This means a great deal to Cuban players when it always seems like it does. They're always very happy to see each other when you watch them before the game. In batting practice, there is a fellowship there, it seems.
Before the game.
Yes.
Once they play the national anthem, they want to come out on top. They want to be the superior competitor that particular day from Cuba.
Well, everybody who has come out of that country to play baseball in this country has a story about how they got here, so there's a lot to go through to get to the big leagues. Middlebrooks tries to backhand that one, knocks it down, and Tomas beats it out. Lance Barksdale says safe at first. E5, the error on Will Middlebrooks at third.
Pretty routine, just hit right in the middle of that third baseman's glove and bounced out. And as always, Yasmani Tomas doesn't take anything for granted, busting it down that first baseline and reaches on the E5.
So the leadoff man is on base for Jake Lamb here in the second. Ball one. Jake at 274 for the year. He had a pair of singles last night after striking out 3 times in the series opener on Friday.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
2-0 pitch. That's in there. Despaigne has not won a game this month. He's coming off a no decision in his previous start. That was last Tuesday at San Francisco. Allowed 2 runs on 5 hits in 5. And really hasn't pitched very well since he returned to the rotation the first week of May. 1-5 in his last 9 starts. The ERA is 5.61 over that span. As you can see, it's a rough couple of months here.
I think some of that is just a familiarity factor. After you see him a couple of times and you realize he's not going to throw it by me.
Jake Lamb drops it into left center, a base hit. Venable over there to cut it off. Tomas stays put at second base. First 2 have reached for the Diamondbacks in the second.
Once you see enough of an opposing pitcher and get a look at his release point, the movement on his pitches, it's not as puzzling the next time you see him or the 3rd time or 4th time you see a guy. I think we saw a little bit of that happen with Josh Comenter this year. You know, the familiarity factor. After you see him a couple of times, you realize exactly what he's all about, and it's much easier to attack him.
Lamb got a hanger there for the Diamondbacks first base hit. Aaron Hill getting the start at second this afternoon. 223 and 3 homers. 2 on, nobody out. He tries to bunt but fouls it straight back.
I don't know if we've ever seen Aaron Hill try to put down a sac bunt. Really dipped the barrel of the bat that time, fouled it straight back.
Got Castillo and Pennington coming up behind him. Pitcher spot after that.
I wonder if he did that on his own. Sometimes a veteran player, especially a guy that's been struggling offensively, gets an opportunity like this and figures the best way I can help the team right here is to move those 2 guys up for the guys hitting behind me in the order.
Well, you mentioned it, Bob. Aaron's high water mark at the plate this year was the middle of last month, May 17th. He was just over 290 for the season, but he has struggled to get consistent at bats and playing time ever since. And Over his last 30 games, he's hitting about 140 with only 1 extra base hit. Base ahead here, 3 balls and a strike. Wellington Castillo on deck. Drives it to right center field. Matt Kemp runs it down. Tomas will tag. Kemp throws on the run, and Yasmani is in there at third. Boy, Kemp charged that one and didn't stop, just went all the way into the throw.
A good instinctive advance by Yasmani Tomas. Because Matt Kemp was on the dead run, kind of toward center field, he took a chance, realized that Kemp wasn't going to be able to get much on that throw because of his lateral movement right there. And Tomas tags and gets himself over to third base with only 1 out in the inning.
They're on the corners for Castillo. Tomas at third, Lamb at first. Beef Wellington.
Beef is usually what's for dinner, but in this case it's Sunday brunch. We had a little beef Wellington.
A little tailgate action.
Yeah. Despaigne has got to be a pitching coach's nightmare. You know, you talk about mechanics. Well, he does whatever feels right. Sometimes he'll use a slide step, sometimes a high leg kick, sometimes an over-the-top delivery, sometimes a submarine delivery. Just whatever strikes his fancy out there.
Launches this one to left. Wellington Castillo takes it out of here for a 3-run homer. His 6th of the year. Diamondbacks answer. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Boy, we were bemoaning the lack of timely hits before the ball game today. There's one right there. 3-run bomb by Wellington Castillo.
Tell you what, in 14 games now with the Diamondbacks, he's got 4 homers, 3 doubles, and 11 RBIs.
Boy, timed that slow breaking ball absolutely perfect. Just let it travel, let it get deep into the hitting zone, and then fired that bat through the strike zone and hit it out of here to left field.
Chip Hale insisted today before the ball game. He feels like this offense is on the cusp, he said, of breaking out right now, trying to snap this 3-game losing skid. And Wellington Castillo gets into one, 3-1 Diamondbacks. Brings up the left fielder, Cliff Pennington.
The way he waited on that ball, it was almost like that's what he was looking for, which would be a smart approach against Despaigne, a guy that throws all kinds of junk at a variety of different speeds, but he likes to throw that slow breaking ball.
Well, he hung one to Lamb for Jake's base hit. And Castillo got behind it. Took it out under that new scoreboard in left field. Cliff at 207 on the year, 5 RBIs. He waves at that one. 2 down, another look at Wellington Castillo.
I mean, he is not fooled in the least by this slow breaking ball. Watching that front foot comes down, his hands stay back, he's tracking that ball, and then fires that bat through the hitting zone. Great approach against a slow pitch.
Well, he has really worked out well. They got to be thrilled with what they're getting from Wellington Castillo. Chase Anderson. Chase is thrilled. He's got a 3-1 lead now after giving up the leadoff homer to Matt Kemp in the Padre first. He's down 0-2. Manny Tomas reached on an error. Jake Lamb a single to left center. Wellington Castillo a 3-run homer, his 6th of the year. be a strike with Harry Cederstrom at the plate. It was last night. Gets his third strikeout. He punches out Chase Anderson. But how about a little beef Wellington for your Sunday brunch? Yard! It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Wellington Castillo has answered with a 3-run homer of his own, and now Chase has got a 3-1 lead as he works to Derek Norris, Will Venable, and Will Middlebrooks 5, 6, and 7 in the Padres' second. Wellington Castillo. And here's his counterpart, the Padre catcher. It's Derek Norris working the day game after the night game. 243, 9 home runs.
What we know about Derek Norris, it's probably easier just to put him in the lineup than to argue with him why you're trying to give him a day off.
1 for 8 in the series. He's got a double and an RBI. This is headed for the right field corner, but it's out of play. Chip Hale had suggested that Chase Anderson may have been tipping his pitches in that last start against the Rockies. Chip said he didn't remember one swing at a ball out of the strike zone by a Colorado hitter. And he said they would check the tape and see if he was tipping anything they might be able to pick up in the video. They didn't find a whole lot. But Chip said it seemed like the Rockies knew what was coming. Well, they did take a look, and he told us today maybe there was something there with his changeup. But for the most part, he felt that the pitches that were hit by the Rockies in that last start, just bad location. Ball's running back over the plate. Norris fans of that one. That's the first strikeout for Chase. The tipping of pitches is always a concern, isn't it?
Oh, it's a huge thing. I mean, there are guys that sit on the bench. That's their sole job during a ball game. Usually starting pitchers between starts, sometimes a relief pitcher, sometimes it's a hitting coach or a pitching coach. Watch every delivery. Pay close attention to the radar gun and just see if you can determine anything. I remember there was a pitcher for the Colorado Rockies. Now it's tapped back now. Should be no problem for Chase. Pedro Estacio. when he was throwing a fastball, he would take a very short step to his side before starting his windup. When he was throwing a changeup, he'd take a much bigger step to the side before he started his windup. Very subtle thing, very tough to determine unless you knew exactly what you were looking for.
For Matt Moore of the Rays had a problem. He would sort of pat his glove hand for a fastball and not do it for a breaking ball. Or Andy Pettitte would hold his glove. You know, he used to hold his glove in front of his face when he was looking for a sign. The glove would be narrow or wide depending on the grip of the baseball, things like that.
And another way to determine is just watch the reaction of the hitter. You know, if you're the catcher behind the plate and you call for a 2-0 changeup, 99% of the hitters in the big leagues are sitting on a fastball on a 2-0 count. And you throw a changeup and he's not fooled by it,
thumbs up.
You're either tipping your pitches or somebody's stealing signs from someone.
Will Middlebrooks shift is on for the Diamondbacks. And now with a 2-1 count, Aaron Hill, who was on the shortstop side of the second base bag, will go over and stand near second base umpire Kudwolka. Here's Aaron Hill adjusting. They shift not only batter to batter, but count to count under Dr. Ed Lewis. 2-1 pitch.
And there was some question about Curt Schilling tipping his pitches toward the end of the season in 2001, and he said, I hope they think I'm tipping my pitches. He wanted to use it to his advantage.
Now Aaron Hill bounces back over to where he was standing earlier, and Middlebrooks yanks one foul down the left field line. Well, they got Aaron running all over the place back there.
Kind of like a target in an arcade game. Here I am. No, now I'm over here.
That's where he ends up on the 3-2 pitch. Why would you adjust the shift count to count?
Well, when the count is in the hitter's favor, he's more likely to take an aggressive swing and pull the ball. When he's in a pitcher's count, behind in the count, he's more likely to be defensive and hit the ball to the opposite field. But, you know, all this is based on percentages and past history. What has this guy done in this count in the past against a right-handed pitcher who throws his fastball in the low 90s?
There's Andy Green, the third base coach, who sets the defense when the Diamondbacks are in the field. Does a lot of work with Dr. Ed Lewis, who runs the analytics department for the Diamondbacks. Lots of info. Tendencies, patterns. This is sky to right center field. Tomas calling for it. Chase Anderson, since he gave up the Kemp leadoff homer, has retired 6 straight. He's got a 3-1 lead. Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. I'm sailing. Nick Ahmed as we sail into the third against Odrisamir Despaigne, who had an 8-pitch first and a 24-pitch second, so he threw 3 times as many pitches in the second inning than he did in the first, and that's exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a guy that has a tendency to run up some high pitch counts anyway.
Lifts this in the air to Matt Kemp in right field.
Well, if a guy wants to nibble and have a lot of 3-ball counts in the game, let him. Plate discipline, we saw it in full display against Tyson Ross in the first game of this series. A guy that had given him fits in the past. They were able to lay off some of those sliders out of the zone. Took 5 walks against Tyson Ross. Unfortunately, they couldn't come up with the big hits when they needed them.
David Peralta struck out his first time up. Padres put the shift on. They overload the right-hand side. David struck out his first time, getting the start in center field for the first time this year. A.J. Pollock, a much-needed day off in the estimation of Chip Hale, who said he wanted to get A.J. an off day in this series, and it's today.
It coincides with the fact that A.J. Pollock is 0 for 7 lifetime with 3 strikeouts against Despaigne.
It works. Yeah. Peralta's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. Three-0 pitches in there. Been a good series for David. A pair of hits and an RBI last night. He walked twice in Friday's game here. This is lifted in the air deep to right field, and there it goes. Goodbye. David Peralta. His first home run since May 29th. It's been 24 games. That's his 6th, and it's 4-1 Diamondbacks.
Boy, is that a welcome sight. Diamondbacks offensively looked like they were falling back into the early season doldrums where if Goldie didn't have a big night, they weren't going to score. But David Peralta puts a charge on one to right field.
Wellington Castillo, a 3-run homer in the second. David Peralta, a solo shot in the third. And here's Goldie.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
He was due to yank one out of here. It had been about a month, as we mentioned. Tell you what, you get this kind of offensive lift on a day you're trying to get A.J. Pollock a day off. That really helps out.
Absolutely.
Goldie flied out his first time.
I know when fans come to the ballpark, they have their favorites. They have their guys they want to see, and maybe be a little upset if they get to the ballpark and their favorite player's not in the lineup. But as a manager, as a coaching staff, and as a team, you have to believe that no matter who's in the lineup on a given day, you can win a ball game. And the guys that aren't in the lineup, the guys you wanted to see, may come off the bench late in the game and do something fantastic.
2-2 pitch. David with a little Reggie Jackson moment in the dugout. Remember Reggie after he hit those 3 home runs in Game 6, 77 World Series, just smiling and waving to the camera in the Yankee dugout. There's A.J. Pollock. The day off, and his outfield counterparts are picking up the slack. 2-2 to Goldie. May 7th, Odrisamir Despaigne gave up a couple of home runs in that ball game. Was beat up by the Diamondbacks. 8 runs all earned, 10 hits in 5 innings. back on May the 7th. Punches out Goldie.
That's something you rarely see. Goldie chase a pitch that high and that inside. Tried to check his swing, just couldn't hold that bat back.
4 strikeouts for Despaigne, 2 down for Yasmani Tomas. Yeah, Despaigne, that last start against the Diamondbacks at Chase Field, that was an 11-0 D-backs win. So he's had a rough time against the Diamondbacks as of late. Tomas reached on an error by Middlebrooks his first time up, came in on the Castillo homer. Here are the 2 home run hitters in the D-back dugout. Castillo and Peralta. Well, every once in a while, he'll fool you badly.
Oh, he throws it slower than that. That's 71 miles per hour on that big bending curveball. We've seen him drop down to 65, 66 miles an hour on that pitch.
And you'll get some swings with that pitch. It looks like the guy's blindfolded up there. That's behind the screen and out of play.
The best comparison I can make for Despaigne is Livan Hernandez. I talk about it every time we see Despaigne. Livan was a guy that wasn't afraid to invent pitches out there on the mound. If something wasn't working, he'd just stick it in his back pocket and break it out again 2 or 3 innings later and see if it was any better.
Hard to third. One hopper right to Middlebrooks. Low throw, but Alonso scoops it. And that's the end of the inning. But the Diamondbacks tack on one more. They lead it 4-1. David Peralta's 6th of the year is out of here at Petco.
Give AJ a day off. Obviously, he'll be available late in the game, but he's played a lot, played in Denver. When we get that altitude, we worry about the guys when they come out of it. So, he's a runner. He's been playing a whole lot before that, so I just wanted to give him a day. A little frustration, too, I think, mentally. He's been hitting a lot of ground balls at third. So I think he just needs a day. But Cliff will be good out there. He's been working hard. We can't expect perfection to have him, but we know we're going to get the effort.
Guys, there's the manager, his take on the move in the outfield today. Chip Hale, prior to the game today, he also talked about the after effect of playing 3 games in Coors Field and just what that can do to your body as well. So AJ, as you guys have clearly discussed, gets the day off, at least for now. We'll see.
Nice to know he's down there on the bench if you need him. And Cliff Pennington getting his 2nd start in left field. That game in Anaheim, by the way, where he had to run out there for the bottom of the 1st after Ender Inciarte injured his hamstring, leading off the ball game. That counts as a start because he began the ball game defensively in left field. even though it was a scramble the Jets kind of a situation. Here's Clint Barmes. He played a lot more under Pat Murphy. Murphy seems to like Barmes a lot more than Amaris did. And the numbers show why. He's about 300 this year. Rolls it to Jake Lamb at third. 7 straight retired by Chase. Let's go back to Todd.
Yeah, quick follow-up, guys. Yesterday in the clubhouse, remember on Friday night we showed you the all-star ballots that were sent to the players. They were filling out their ballots over the weekend. A few guys were delinquent in filling them out and then licking that envelope and sending it off. One of the guys that was studying yesterday, clearly, looking up stats, was A.J. Pollock, but he was getting a dose of a hard time from his teammates. He said, go ahead and vote for yourself. So he got up and left the table that was in the clubhouse. He went to his locker, and we were all standing there with cameras, and he just went around the corner. But I hope he voted for himself. Twice.
Bouncer to shortstop on that. Well, that's not AJ's style. I mean,
no.
You can't see him doing that. But he should vote for himself. He should be playing in the game.
Just imagine it's a Chicago mayor's race. Vote early, vote often.
How about the idea, and I thought this was interesting, Bob, when I heard Chip Hale say it, that he's seen from A.J. a lot of ground balls to third base. And Chip said when A.J. is on for him, he hits the ball to right field a lot. But for Chip, all those grounders to third sort of sensed a frustration level for him on the part of A.J., and so he gets a day here. There's Kemp, who homered to lead off the ball game for the Padres.
That's where you have to pass the eye test if you want to be in the lineup. No matter what the numbers say, a manager and a coaching staff watching a player and knowing that player very well, and you start to see some things that you haven't seen, that's a pretty good indication a guy maybe needs a day off. Maybe starting his bat a little bit too soon because he feels tired, rolling over a lot of ground balls that he would drive into the gaps otherwise. Of course, players aren't going to tell you, hey, listen, I need a day off. Boy, I really got beat up in Colorado. I could use a day off. AJ's not going to do that.
Well, Matt Kemp's 2 for 2. He dunks one into right center. A 2-out single that snaps a stretch of 8 straight retired by Chase Anderson. Brings up young Hervé Solarte. Solarte flying out to center his first time up. Just under 250 on the year. Jumps on the first pitch, but pops it up foul. Out of play. Solarte had only 9 base hits for the entire month going into last night's game, but last night 3 for 5, a double and an RBI. And there's no official word yet on Corey Spangenberg, who had such a good night here Friday, had to leave yesterday's game with a knee sprain. So Solarte in there at second. Just 2 hits for the Padres so far against Chase. Matt Kemp has them both, a home run and a single.
Home run a little more dramatic for Matt Kemp. That last one was just a little jam shot. He fought off into shallow right center field for a single.
Well, he has not had a good first half to the year, Matt Kemp. They're waiting for him to wake up. This is lifted in the air to shallow center. Ahmed drifting out there. Peralta coming in. Nick has got it. And they strand the 2-out single. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Beef Wellington, already a 3-run homer. 2016 FIFA Women's World Cup semifinals begin. Alex Morgan and Team USA take on Germany. The trip to the final is on the line. Coverage begins Tuesday, 3 o'clock Pacific time, only on your local Fox station and streaming live on Fox Sports Go as Team USA takes on the Germans. Sedona Red here in San Diego. Steve Berthew, Bob Brennan, Todd Walsh with you. 4-1 Diamondbacks, a 3-run homer by Wellington Castillo and a solo shot by David Peralta. Matt Kemp is homered for the only Padre run. Jake Lamb singled and scored his first time. And a pair of singles last night. We have yet to see him, Bob, I think since he's come back from the foot injury, drive the ball like we know Jake Lamb can.
His swing has been considerably longer than it was before the injury. I mean, early this season, he was short and quick and compact to the ball, was driving it all over the ballpark. It's going to take him a little while, hopefully not too much longer, to get that timing and rhythm back.
Yeah, hitting just 200 with only 2 RBIs since he came back from that foot injury on June 6th. Moving his feet that time, and he's worked the count full 3-2.
I mean, that's a good sign right there that he saw that pitch, recognized the spin, and laid off. That's a pitch he's been chasing a lot recently, that right-handed slider down and in. That one was never really in the strike zone, so tough to think about taking a swing at it, but good to see him lay off anyway.
Bounces it off the glove of Despaigne. How about that play right there? Clint Barmas spins and throws out Lamb. The shift was on, and Barmas ended up in the right spot.
I think Barmas was going to get to that ball either way, but the deflection forced him to stop in his tracks, turn around, and go right back where he started from and complete the throw on to first for the out.
It's a 1-6-3 in your scorebook. 1 out for Aaron Hill. Aaron flied out his first time up. This is a fly ball out to left. It backs up Upton at the track, and he's got a step or two for allowed out number 2 in the 4th. Got that up in the air. It's warmer here today than we've had all weekend, so it might carry a bit than it has previously in the series, a bit more. Wellington Castillo in the second. 2 on, 1 out. There it goes. Did you think he was going to hit this much?
I saw him with the Cubs, and I knew he had pop in his bat. I knew that he was an offense-first catcher, but I'm a little surprised, especially after his inauspicious beginning with the Diamondbacks. Struck out 4 times on 13 pitches in his first game.
Looked like that.
Yeah. But he's got a lot of confidence in his abilities up there at the plate. I'm not really surprised by anything he does offensively.
Well, counting today, 14 games with the Diamondbacks. 7 extra base hits and 11 RBIs. How about this role he's been on the last 9 games?
And it goes without saying, just a tremendous opportunity for Wellington Castillo if he can continue swinging the bat the way he has been, handle the pitching staff the way he has. There's a job there to be had.
Ball strike 3. Despaigne works a 1-2-3 4th. He's got 5 strikeouts, but the Diamondbacks have a 4-1 lead. 4-1. Chase Anderson so far has given up just 2 hits, both to Matt Kemp, a solo homer. So lead off the ball game for the Padres in a single. He'll work to Yonder Alonso, Justin Upton, and Derek Norris, 3, 4, and 5 of the Padre fourth.
That was some cool face paint right there. Had the snake wrapping all around his forehead, between his eyes. Look at that.
Nice work. A little different from the blue and white stripes we saw from our Irish friends last night. They're probably still sleeping it off. Alonso grounded out into the shift his first time up, and the shift is on again. Jake Lamb on the other side of the second base bag. So Yonder Alonso tries to bunt away from the shift, but it's foul.
I think you're going to see more and more of the guys who see the exaggerated pull shifts and are leading off an inning. That's the perfect time to take a shot. You're looking to get base runners, trailing by 3 runs in this ball game. Even if he hits a home run, you're still trailing by 2. Padres just need base runners right now, and that time Alonso tried to take advantage of the shift.
Well, Alonso has had a good series so far. He's always trying to hit the ball right back up the middle. He's had a pair of 2-hit games in the series. 4 hits, 2 doubles he's driven into. And as we've mentioned, he's not been a power hitter per se, only 12 extra base hits all year, so it's not like he's sacrificing some home runs if he bunts away from the shift. Chase behind, 3 balls and a strike. We're watching Aaron Hill out there in what is almost now medium right field. Upton is on deck. But when they got a hitter's count right there, 3-1, Aaron was running out toward right field in a hurried attempt to kind of back up. Now he'll come in a bit here as they continue to shift count to count.
One thing that's a little different where Aaron Hill is playing is there's a pretty good chance that they hit the ball to you there, you're going to have to field it off the grass instead of off the infield dirt. Which if you're used to taking 100 ground balls a day at second base, you're going to take 100 ground balls off the infield dirt.
And he loses the leadoff man. And it might be the same for the third baseman who now has to practice fielding ground balls behind the bag at second.
Changes everything. And at least now that we do it more often, as we take a look at our T-Mobile game changer, 2 of the guys in the game today, Paul Goldschmidt with 52 go-ahead homers in the last 5 years, tied with Justin Upton. Miguel Cabrera at the top of the list with Joey Bats, Jose Bautista in second place.
Hey, Joey Bats. Upton flying out to center his first time. Diamondback outfielders, I think they're somewhere in Santa Barbara right now. Upton, 3 hits, 3 RBIs in the series, including last night's opposite field home run off Jeremy Hellickson. That was the deciding blow in the ball game. Here's one note that the Padres put out today. I found this kind of interesting. They are 9-2 in the 11 games that both Kemp and Upton have recorded at least 1 RBI. So that tells you that the offense really has not gelled yet this year, because Kemp and Upton have only had RBIs in the same game 11 times all season. And we're 3 months in here. Kemp has shown signs lately of coming around. 2 for 2 today. This up in the air. Tomas is there and right. Starting to back it up, now comes in, and that's the first down here in the fourth. Up to 0 for 2. Derek Norris. Derek Norris got off to a great start with San Diego. Came over in the offseason from Oakland. During the first week of May, he was hitting almost 340. He's 100 points below that right now. He has been in a free fall for a while. Since May the 3rd, batting under 200. So that's a stretch of nearly 50 games. He's been hitting in the 190s. Look at that. That is a free fall right there. The power's been there. But that's a pretty big drop in average and a steady and consistent drop. 50 pitches for Chase, 32 strikes. He's behind 2-0.
Well, Norris hasn't spent all his time in the batting cage. This was before the ball game today. He's had a reputation of being a little bit stiff with his hands behind home plate, so doing some drills down in the Padres bullpen before the game. He's working on shifting his weight, being soft with his hands, doing it without a glove on.
How do you know when a catcher back there has, I hear that all the time, this guy's got soft hands back there, he receives the ball well? Don't they all receive the ball well? They're just catching it.
Oh no.
What's a good receiver of the baseball and what's a bad one?
Well, a bad one, you'll see a lot of baseballs on the ground. Fastballs, breaking pitches hit right in the middle of the catcher's mitt and they drop.
This is blasted to left and gone. Derek Norris, that's his 10th. And it's a 4-3 ball game. That was out of here on a rope.
There are towering, majestic home runs, and then there are screaming line drives like the one Derek Norris just hit. Center cut fastball up in the zone once again. It seems like most of the damage that's been done against the Diamondbacks pitching staff on this road trip has been on pitches up in the zone. Held high, sometimes even a little bit higher.
Will Venable. Boy, Chase Anderson. 3 home runs allowed all season long. He's now given up 5 in his last 2 starts, and including today here. And that leadoff walk hurt him. He lost Alonso, came in on the Norris homer. Here's a little roller to second. Aaron Hill has it. And that's the second out.
And we heard Chase Anderson talking about it before the ball game, giving us the scouting report on Chase Anderson. It all works off his command of the fastball. If he can move that fastball in and out, up and down, keep it out of the middle of the plate, it makes his secondary pitches much more effective. But when you throw fastballs right down the middle of the plate to dangerous hitters, they're going to hurt you.
Will Middlebrooks flying out his first time up. I mentioned this yesterday. When you watch Derek Norris take batting practice and you're right behind the cage, he has got one of the more violent batting practice swings. It reminded me a lot of Hunter Pence. They just smash the ball in batting practice. And that one was clubbed. Some guys have nice, easy, smooth swings. They call easy power. Tomas is like that. Other guys, it's just a violent attack on the baseball. And Norris is one of those guys. There's Dave Magadan.
There's Craig Kimbrell sitting there. You'd be surprised how often pitchers listen in on what hitting coaches tell hitters.
Jake Lamb at third. That's the end of the 4th, but the Padres answer back with 2 more. Diamondbacks lead is 4-3 after 4. That pitch to Norris, the discussion there after the end of the fourth inning. Petco Park's supposed to be a pitcher's park, but we've already, through 4 innings, had 4 home runs hit in the ball game. Castillo and Peralta for the Diamondbacks, Kemp and Norris for the Padres. And it's 4-3 D-backs as Cliff Pennington leads off the 5th against Odrisamer Despaigne. Penny struck out his first time up, getting the start in left field here this afternoon. A.J. Pollock has the day off. Peralta in center. And technically this is Cliff's second career start in the outfield. We mentioned that when Ender Inciarte hurt his hamstring, leading off the game at Anaheim, that was June 15th. Penny jumped in there. And he is credited with a start in the outfield because he was out there for the first defensive play of the ball game. He played a little bit in left field later in that same series against the Angels, a few innings. So that is the sum total of his major league outfield experience going into his start here today. Pops that one up. Middlebrooks has it. And that's the first out, 6 in a row, retired by Despaigne since the Peralta homer. There's Chase Anderson. It's not like Cliff played a lot of outfield in the minors either. I mean, you go back through Cliff Pennington's minor league game logs. He played 1 game there in his entire minor league career. That was with AAA Sacramento and the A's organization. 1 game in left field back in 2009.
You know, one thing, when you're a utility player, when you're a bench guy like Cliff Pennington, most days you're out for early batting practice. And when you're done with your round of batting practice, you're expected to go to the outfield and help shag balls for the guys that are hitting next. So, I mean, Cliff, even though he's not an outfielder by trade, he's used to shagging balls in the outfield. He's been doing it his whole career.
Yeah, matter of fact, Chip Hill mentioned that Cliff has been doing a lot of that lately in preparation for somebody getting a day off, and he's got a couple of gloves.
Yeah, the biggest adjustment is getting used to a different glove. We talked about it when he played in Anaheim. The outfielder's glove is broken in, so it's longer, gives you a little more reach in case you have to go above the fence or dive for a ball in the gap. The infielder's glove a little bit smaller, so you can get the ball out of the glove quicker. So that's probably the biggest single adjustment for Cliff, is just getting used to a different glove.
That's in there for a called strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Despaigne, who's now retired 7 straight. There it is. They could have gone with Danny Dorn. That's an option too. Danny Dorn, a left-hand hitter. Despaigne, a right-hand pitcher. But Pennington's bat has been pretty productive lately. And so it was Cliff in there with Pollock getting the day off. And there's Danny Dorn.
Danny Dorn a little more of a threat to do damage late in the ball game if you need a pinch hitter. And the only left-handed bat available other than Jared Saltalamacchia off the bench today.
Nick Ahmed 0 for 2. He is twice flat out. Back in the leadoff spot for the second game in a row. He was 1 for 4 with a single last night batting leadoff. And he's 1 for 9 in the series.
A lot of late movement on that delivery from Despaigne. That ball tail all the way from the outside corner to the inside corner.
Right back to the mound. Despaigne's on it. He set down 8 straight Diamondbacks, but the D-backs have a 4-3 lead.
Petco. This day in Major League Baseball history, June 28, 1919, Carl Mays threw 2 complete games in the same day. Beat the Yankees 2-0 in the opener, lost 4-1 in the finale. You think that'll ever happen again?
Probably. What was going on with human physiology then that you could get away with that?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I have my own opinions. I think back in the day, you know, you probably threw upwards to 300.
Then Barmes drops that one into left field corner. Barmes is in at second. That's his 9th double to lead off the Padre 5th. Chase Anderson. We heard him at the top of the show, Bob, talk about location. He's got to be very accurate with his location, and he just hasn't been so far today.
Well, there's another change up in the middle of the plate. We've seen a couple of hanging fastballs right in the middle of the plate that have been hit out of the ballpark. It's not as fine as we're used to seeing Chase Anderson. Yeah, you know, back in the day when Carl Mays finished pitching 2 complete games in one afternoon, the trainer probably rubbed his arm a little bit and sent him on home.
With witch hazel or something.
Yeah, you got a sore arm, big deal. Well, now you've got a grade 3.5 sprain of your ulnar collateral, whatever, and you've got MRIs and 3D imaging, and you can spot every small little defect in a guy's shoulder or elbow or back or neck, whatever the case may be.
What year did you say that was?
1919.
In 1919, Carl Mays actually split that season between the Yankees and the Red Sox, but pitched 266 innings that year and threw 26 complete games. That's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Here's Despaigne, corners crash for the Diamondbacks, gets the bunt down. Anderson has one play. Barmes is in at third.
Well, we talked about the lack of location in the early going for Chase Anderson. Look at the 2 home run pitches. Matt Kemp leading off the game, got a fastball up above the belt on the inside corner, and then Derek Norris, another fastball inside corner, mid-thighs. Either scoot it up a little or scoot it down a little, just keep it out of the middle.
Well, Chase has had no answers so far for Matt Kemp, a homer and a single. Tying run down there at third with 1 out. And he's spiking balls in the dirt with Barmes 90 feet away.
Kind of held on to that one a little bit too long, pulls it over in that left-handed batter's box. Nice backhanded pick by Wellington Castillo to keep that one from going to the backstop.
Infield creeps in for the D-backs. The 1-0 to Kemp. Jake Lamb is right there. Barmes is back on the bag. Nice play by the D-back third baseman for the second out here in the 5th, and Barmes stays put.
Boy, just a reaction play that time by Jake Lamb, and that's a pretty good reaction by the runner, Clint Barmes, as well, to get back to the bag quickly on that smash.
Clint Barmes. On Hervey Solarte, 0 for 2. Trying to strand that leadoff double.
While we have a moment here, let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the ball game today. Chase rhymes with ace. They need him to go out there and pitch like an ace. It's been a rough go here in the early going, but good aces settle in later in the ball game. And on Naval Appreciation Day here at Petco, sink the Padres.
Over the mound, Aaron Hill is there. And Chase Anderson does a good job of stranding that leadoff double. He keeps it a 4-3 Diamondback lead. Celebrate America's holiday with friends and family in the air-conditioned comfort of Chase Field. D-backs and Rockies. Then stick around. We'll open up the roof after the ball game for the post-game fireworks spectacular presented by Gila River Casinos. Get your 4th of July ticket right now at dbacks.com. We'll see you there. David Peralta, who homered his last time up, leads off the 6th against Odrisamer Despaigne. Padres have the shift on. Jumps on the first pitch and pops it up. Third base side. Middlebrook sends it in foul ground. That's 9 in a row set down by Despaigne.
That's frustrating at bat for David Peralta. Looks like he's seeing the ball much better. And chases that first pitch out of the zone, takes a defensive swing, and just pops it harmlessly to the left side.
Yeah, he's had a good road trip, David, so far. 8 for 20. He scored 5 runs. Here's Goldie, who's 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. Kissed a pitch up and in, which is not something you often see him do. Tells you that Despaigne can be tricky out there. He's on a roll right now. He seems like one of these find-a-way guys. He'll just figure out what's working on that particular day and find a way to keep you the ball game. Derek Norris could not find a way to hide from that pitch.
He tried to.
One misses. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Goldie leading the major leagues in walks and on base percentage. Only 4 players in baseball have scored more runs. Big cut at that one. Despaigne now at 80 pitches, 51 for strikes. He has really settled down after a bumpy second inning. Goldie drives this to Venable in center, and he runs it down for the second out.
Well, we've talked a lot about Despaigne and his differing arm angles, and these are just a couple of them that we pulled out from starts past. The thing that really gets a hitter is he'll throw any of his pitches from any of those arm angles. He might throw a fastball sidearm, come right back with a slider sidearm, come right back with a changeup sidearm. A lot of guys, when they go away from their normal arm angle, only throw one pitch from that different angle. Not Despaigne. He will throw any pitch from any angle at any time.
Does that almost count it as a separate pitch?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you throw an overhand fastball that's fairly straight, maybe even has a little cutting action, and then your low 3/4 fastball has some sinking action, and if you drop all the way down to sidearm, it'll be like a flat cutter working the opposite direction. There's a lot of things to deal with as a hitter, but the bottom line is see a ball in the strike zone, hit it hard.
Yasmani Tomas has reached on an error by Middlebrooks at third and grounded out to Middlebrooks. He scored in the second inning on the Castillo 3-run homer. That one got him.
Remember, Tomas took one off the elbow in Colorado. Was that in Colorado or at home before we left?
It was at home.
Yeah.
He got hit by Shields.
Yeah, right off the left elbow. Now this one hits down on the forearm as Quackenbush and Garces start cranking it up for the Padres.
Quackenbush pitched the 9th inning last night and threw 24 pitches. And we're going to have a visit here from Pat Murphy. He's had his bullpen cranked up, and he's going to make the move here. He's going to bring in the lefty Garces to face Jake Lamb. That's it for Despaigne, who leaves trailing 4-3.
Columbus, Arizona, is brought to you in part by Oregano's Pizza Bistro, your neighborhood pizza joint. We are athletic supporters. By Card Power from Arizona Federal Credit Union. Now that's the power of us. By Tire Pro, for the best selection of Continental and General brand tires. Visit your local Arizona Tire Pros location today. And by Tecate Life, born bold.
San Diego. New pitcher for the Padres, the lefty Frank Garces. Left-hand hitters batting over 260 versus Garces this year. So Pat Murphy will try and match up here against Jake Lamb. Garces has actually had better luck getting out righties than lefties. And we'll check the platoon splits of Jake Lamb here. He's under $170 against left-hand pitchers. Just 8 plate appearances, though. 2 down, Yasmani Tomas at first.
Garces' claim to fame is that big sweeping breaking ball. He's thrown it twice here to Jake Lamb, once for a called strike and that time for the swinging strike. He tries to bounce a third one in the dirt low and away.
A check on Tomas. Garces, 15 of his last 16 appearances have been scoreless. 0-2 to Lamb. Just inside there. Jake singled and scored in the second. He's 1 for 2. Jake Lamb gets into one and drives it high and deep and out of here to right. Jake Lamb, his second. And the Diamondbacks take a 6-3 lead. Well, we just mentioned in his last at bat, Bob, we haven't seen Jake drive the ball lately like we know he can. And we stand corrected.
Yeah, he crushed that fastball. Diamondbacks are 6 on the board. That's 1 more than 5, which means 3 free crunchy beef tacos tomorrow.
I told you Garces has not had a ton of success against lefties for a left-hand reliever. And Jake Lamb got a hold of one and took him out of here. 6-3 D-backs. Well, you get his bat going. Ooh, that's a game changer. Third Diamondback home run today. Bang.
Pat Murphy's going to have some questions for Garces after the inning. Wait a minute now. You threw him 2 breaking balls. You made him look horrible up there in that left-handed batter's box. Then you missed with a breaking ball. What made you think fastball was the right pitch? Boy, Jake was all over that ball.
He'd had just 2 RBIs since coming back from the foot injury on June 6th. But 2 hits last night, 2 more hits today, including that homer. He's starting to come around again. After all, he did miss 42 games out from the middle of April all the way through the beginning of June. 2-1 to Aaron Hill. I thought this was supposed to be a pitcher's party.
I was just thinking, we're in the top of the 6th inning. There've already been 5 home runs hit today. There are weeks go by you don't hit 5 home runs in this ballpark.
Garces gives up the 2-run homer. One of those runs charged to Despagne, and he's behind on Aaron Hill, 3-1. Boy, every one of the home runs today has been an absolute no-doubter. No cheapies here this afternoon. Castillo, a 3-run homer in the second. Peralta solo shot in the third. Lamb, a 2-run homer here in the 6th. And Aaron Hill has a base hit to center. Kemp and Norris have homered for the Padres. Speaking of home runs, here is Wellington Castillo. His homer in the second, the 3-run shot, his 6th of the year. And here comes Pat Murphy.
I was just about to say, you've got a righty up in the bullpen. It's not like Garces is fooling anybody.
This is the guy that closed the ball game last night. Coming in the 6th here this afternoon. Garces exits at 6-3 Diamondbacks.
San Diego. And guys, just a programming note coming up right after the game. It's another edition of the 10th inning. This one, the Local 9, a new show in our original programming arsenal as we sit down with members of the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's something I've always been interested in doing, but could never figure out a way to make it happen. But thanks to people like Josh Kellman, we did. Talking about how major leaguers go about living in the valley out amongst us. The Local 9 locally. Some interesting stuff there. So hope you'll stay with us after the game here. But back to the game. Steve and Bob, take it.
They're out there, Bob, living amongst us.
Amongst us.
Yeah.
Kevin Quackenbush, who pitched the 9th last night, threw 24 pitches. A 2.82 ERA is on here in the 6th. The following afternoon to face Wellington Castillo with their strike one. Last night he pitched with a 7-2 lead and closed out the ball game. 6-3 D-backs in the 6th. You did not go. That's Lance Barksdale down there. 2 balls and a strike.
You'll notice Wellington Castillo, that left hand down over the knob, the little finger almost underneath the knob as he takes his grip on that bat.
Aaron Hill just walks into second base. Time and time again, we've seen the Diamondbacks do that. Derek Norris has thrown out more attempted base stealers than any other catcher in the game, but Aaron Hill just swiped that one. Look at this jump.
It has to be the 7th or 8th time this year we've seen the Diamondbacks runner just take off while the pitcher was standing on the rubber. And the guy goes ahead and delivers the ball to home plate. And we've talked about it many times. It's a byproduct of Dave McKay doing his homework.
Take off, eh?
Take off.
3-2. Lines it right to Solarte, who leaps up and makes a grab to prevent the run coming in. Jake Lamb gets his second home run of the year, a 2-run shot. The Diamondbacks' third home run today, and they lead the Padres 6-3. At Petco Park, Diamondbacks lead the Padres 6-3. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is presented by Sanderson Ford. We've seen a bunch of D-back fans here all weekend long. And these two teams putting on a show here this afternoon. 5 home runs. Yonder Alonso leads off the 6th against Chase Anderson. A little roller to Nick Ahmed. The shift was on. Once again, Alonso, it seems like you're taking him out of his game, Bob, because it seems right at the forefront of his mind trying to go away from that shift, and it's working for the Diamondbacks.
Well, and that's half the battle. If you can get a guy to change his approach, do something that he's not comfortable doing, you got a much better chance of getting him out.
Last time he tried to bunt away from the shift. Justin Upton 0 for 2. Would you want your guys doing that, or would you want to just do your thing and the ball ends up where it ends up?
I think it would depend on the guy. I don't think you can lay down hard and fast rules about how to hit against a shift. Some guys, you'd rather have them go ahead and take their chances on driving the ball through it or over it. Other guys, if they do have a nice opposite field approach to the ball, maybe you want to see them try to go to the opposite field. Guys that can bunt. I just think there are situations like Alonso. We've seen him twice today leading off an inning, and both times he tried to beat the shift, once with a bunt and once with a ball driven the opposite way. But if you had runners in scoring position and Yonder Alonso at the plate, I want to see him do what he does. Hit that ball hard somewhere.
This one is skied up behind the second base bag. Aaron Hill has a beat on it. It's a light sky up there. Got some cloud cover now. But that's the second out. And here's Derek Norris, who homered his last time up. First of 3 against those Dodgers. Back home tomorrow at Chase Field. Have all 3 games for you here on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondback Live pregame show comes your way at 6 o'clock. Alan Webster against former D-back great Mike Bolsinger. Ruby De La Rosa, Carlos Frias on Tuesday. Robbie Ray, Brett Anderson. A matchup of lefties on Wednesday.
Dodgers 2-0 winners today over the Marlins behind Zach Greinke, who got his 6th win of the season.
He's had a lot better year than Kershaw has this year. Diamondbacks shift, moves over to the left-hand side on the 2-out count. That's in there for a strike, and now back and forth we go. Aaron Hill is pacing out there like an expectant father in the waiting room. It's just back and forth, back and forth.
Well, the next home run will be a record setter.
2-2. Jake Lamb at third. One of the home run hitters here today. Norris homered his last time up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three-two pitch. One more time, and there it goes. Norris, his second today, the 6th home run in the ball game, and it's 6-4 Diamondbacks. Chase Anderson gives up 3 home runs for the 2nd consecutive start. A hanger.
Very similar to the Wellington Castillo home run earlier in the ball game. He read that breaking ball, stayed back there, and just absolutely drove it out of here to left field.
His 10th and 11th home runs of the year. Will Venable 0 for 2. And a 2-homer game May 11th last year. Another one for Norris here today. Chase at 80 pitches, 51 strikes. The location has not been great tonight. And Chip Hale is on the blower. Bullpen's been busy. David Hernandez and Daniel Hudson were both warming up earlier down there. Shoots it out to left. Pennington. He's got it. Derek Norris, his 2nd home run today, has chipped away at the Diamondback lead. It is now 6-4 after 6. Cox Communications is set to take you to a Diamondbacks game. Just stop by this month's participating Cox Solutions store at Tempe Marketplace, and you can enter for your chance to win 2 seats on the Fan Express bus, round-trip transportation to the Diamondback game on July 18th. Registration ends July the 6th. For more information, visit FoxSportsArizona.com.
Boy, that's the way to go. I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about gas money.
Yeah, you know, I've been there when the Fan Express pulls up. They let you out right there at the ballpark. That you go in the back way, and so you can just kind of sneak in the back door there. No waiting, no lines. Get you right in. Cliff Pennington leads off the 7th against Kevin Quackenbush. Cliff, the left fielder this afternoon, is 0 for 2. A.J. Pollock the day off. David Peralta playing center field. And so it's Pennington for the second time this year in left.
How about the Cardinals yesterday behind Michael Waka got their 50th victory of the season already.
Waka. There was a stat on that I saw. They were the quickest to get to 50 in like 50 years or something.
They're just stormtrooping that National League Central.
Popped it up. Foul ground third base side near the D-back dugout. Middlebrooks in front of Norris, and it looked like he may have injured himself in the on-deck circle. He slipped with all that material down there. Those on-deck spots get awfully slippery, and Middlebrooks may be injured.
Yeah, the circle itself is slippery for a guy wearing cleats. It's more for show than anything else, and obviously looking up into this afternoon sky. I'm not quite sure exactly where he is on the field. Yeah, he's actually stepped on a bat. A weighted bat.
Like a rolling pin. Right there. Look.
Right ankle. That appeared to be the foot that he stepped on that weighted bat.
Well, Middlebrooks spent all last year with the Boston Red Sox battling back injuries, hand injuries, finger injuries. Just has not been able to stay healthy. And he'll limp off the field here.
We get Amarista at second and move Solarte over to third base now as Middlebrooks is walking off under his own power.
That has scored no play, by the way. There is no error on that one. Amarista is indeed out there. And he'll take over at second. On Hervey Solarte, he'll move over to third. So it's still an 0-2 count on Cliff Pennington. So Solarte at third, Amarista at second. Pennington drives that one right at Kemp. And that's the first out in the 7th. Well, here's the pitcher's spot. And Chase Anderson will hit.
Pitch count obviously not a factor for Chase Anderson at this point of the ball game, but effectiveness is a factor. He's been hanging a lot of pitches today. Kind of surprised to see him taking this at bat.
Bullpen is quiet for the Diamondbacks. It's a two-hopper right to Amarista. He's checked into the game. 2 up, 2 down.
Talking about the Cardinals getting their 50th victory today. How about the Pirates are 10 games over 500 but 8 games out of first place? Man, 8.5 now.
Well, the Reds and the Brewers, they're going to start selling off some used cars here shortly. There's not a lot of sellers at the trade deadline. There's going to be a lot of buyers, very few sellers. Trade deadline coming up at the end of next month. Nick Ahmed.
Dragging curveball, dropped it right in the middle of the strike zone at 77.
Nick 0 for 3 so far. 1 for 10 in the series. We'd be remiss, BB, if we didn't wish Mark Grace a happy 51st.
It's about how many doubles he used to hit a season.
Diamondbacks assistant hitting coach.
Mark Grace is big here in San Diego. That's San Diego State.
He's an Aztec. Went to Tustin High School, Saddleback College in Mission Viejo, and then SDSU. Popped it up first base side, foul ground. Alonso's underneath it. And that's the end of the 7th.
Chin-ups for Chase. Stretch time at Petco.
It's a 6-4 Diamondback lead. The Cox Gig Life high-speed highlights. 6 home runs hit in the ball game at Petco Park here in San Diego. 3 by the Diamondbacks and 3 by the Padres. Chase Anderson has given up 3 home runs for the 2nd consecutive start, but he's got a 6-4 lead. 82 pitches so far for Chase, 53 for strikes. And Alexi Amarista will lead off the inning for San Diego. 5 or more combined homers at Petco Park this year. It's been a little more of a hitter's park this season.
Gets back to that California drought again. Dodger Stadium has been more of a home run park this year than it's ever been in the past.
Andrew Chafin has started throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. Chip Hill pacing in the dugout, trying to salvage the series finale and avoid the sweep. D-backs just 1-4 in their 5 games here at Petco Park this year.
Yeah, the old ballpark, Qualcomm or Jack Murphy, whatever you want to call it, it was more prone to give up the home run ball. I specifically remember a game back in 1987, Giants playing against the Padres, and I should point out that Bob Melvin was catching. I was sitting on the bench this day, so I'm not taking any of the blame. But Marvell Wynn, Tony Gwynn, and John Kruk went back to back to back to start the game.
Marista hits a dribbler to Goldie, chases over there, hustling to cover, and that's the first out. That's a pretty good start to a ball game.
Yeah, Roger Mason was their starting pitcher that day, and Bob Melvin was hanging down the wrong signs.
I imagine that came up from time to time over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Marista, who checked into the ball game at second base when Will Middlebrooks had to leave. Grounds out on one pitch. Here's Clint Barmes, who doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Pitcher spot is due up next for the Padres, and Melvin Upton Jr. is in the on-deck circuit. The artist formerly known as BJ.
But slower curveball that time from Chase Anderson. Drops it right in the middle of the plate.
Just like it down.
Yeah, just like the ones we saw from Quackenbush in that last half inning.
Boy, that one really jammed up Barmes inside on the hands, and it's 1-2. David Hernandez, the right-hander, now joins Andrew Chafin, the lefty, in the Diamondback bullpen. A ball and 2 strikes on Clint Barmes. Weaves at that one. No, he didn't hang on. Pat Hoberg says nope. Chip Hale. No, he bounced it. Good sell job by Welly back there. Well, he is just coming in on Barmes right off the fists. Glenn Hoffman down there at third. Reaches down and lifts that up in the air along the left field line. Pennington gives it a look. He's got it.
Yeah.
Cliff Pennington, the left fielder, hides in the corner in there and snags that one in foul ground. Let's make that our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game by the D-backs left fielder. Not a lot of foul ground.
Hardly any at all. His right foot was right up against the barrier when he went into the slide. We saw David Peralta make an attempt on a very similar ball last night. Nice going, Penny.
Now here comes the 2-out visit. And this is right on, I think, the front page of the Mike Harkey playbook. Is this, look, just get this guy, get through 7, and we'll get you out of here?
Yeah, and I think some of it is a review of the scouting report on Melvin Upton Jr. When you get a guy coming off the bench pinch hitting, you just want to make sure, because you probably didn't go over in as great a detail in your advance meeting as you did the 8 position players in the lineup.
Bullpen is ready. One more look at Cliff Pennington, his second start in left field ever. Quick feet. You got Kemp on deck. This is the guy you want to get right here. And he cooperates nicely. Jake Lamb has it, and Chase Anderson, a good job there. He works a 1-2-3-7. Well, how about that new D-back left fielder? This kid's got a future out there. Summary, and Hulk has been smashing for both sides here today. A combined 6 home runs in the ball game at Petco Park. For the Diamondbacks, we've seen Castillo, Peralta, and Lamb go yard. This was David in the 3rd. He'll lead off the 8th.
Maybe the longest home run of the day off the bat of David Peralta. Well, things that make you go, Other teams in the National League West will look at this box score and go, wait a minute, they played this game at Petco?
No chance. Brandon Maurer, we saw him pitch a scoreless inning on Friday. His 36th appearance of the year, a very good 1.91 ERA. Peralta, Goldie, Tomas, 2, 3, and 4. The sharp end for the Diamondbacks here in the 8th. And the Padres going to that kind of old school Bob Brenly shift with basically just Amarista, the second baseman, out there in shallow right. And what Bob told us last night used to be a shift.
It used to be a shift. Move 2 steps to your left. That's a shift. Well, now they're going to move the shortstop over on the other side.
That's Barmes. Solarte all by himself on the left-hand side. 0-2. David has always hit well in this ballpark. It's not been a big sample size. This is his 13th career game, but he's hitting over 330 here, including his home run today. It's a good place for him to hit. And he's had a good road trip. 8 hits in 20 at-bats. He's scored 5 runs. Look inside the glove of Brandon Maurer.
Went from the changeup grip to what appears to be a slider. Yep, down and in.
It worked. 1 away in the 8th. Hey, fans, this July, baseball's best players will gather in Cincinnati for the Midsummer Classic Home Field Advantage. World Series on the line, the whole thing. Coverage of the 2015 MLB All-Star Game begins July 14th at 4 o'clock on Fox and streams live on Fox Sports Go. Goldie so far 0 for 3. And he dunks one into center for a base hit. So Goldie is now hit in 9 straight. A 1-out single.
Fights off a fastball back up the middle of the field. So many of his hits recently have come right back up the middle of the field. A 1-out single, and keep an eye on Goldie over there now.
13 out of 17 in his stolen base attempts. He's at first with 1 out for Tomas, who has scored twice. But he doesn't have a hit. He was hit by a pitch his last time up and scored on the Lamb homer. He reached on an error back in the 2nd and scored on the Castillo homer. That one gets behind Norris, and Goldie will get the free base.
Assuming that'll be ruled a pass ball. We showed you Derek Norris before the game working on that very thing.
Wild pitch.
It just looked like he clanked this one. It was away. Ball was not in the dirt. He thought he had it in his glove before he realized it was all the way to the backstop.
Daniel Hudson. Chase Anderson did a great job in that 7th and 8th pitch inning. Tomas shoots it toward the right field corner. Kemp on the run, and he runs it down into the wall. Goldie scampers back to the bag at second. Nice play there in the corner by Matt Kemp. Tomas really gave that a ride the other way.
Had a chance to get over Matt Kemp's head. That's why Goldie went halfway between 2nd and 3rd base so he could score if that ball got down on the ground. But once Kemp makes the play, no chance to get back and tag and advance on to 3rd.
Replace your divots. Jake Lamb Singled and scored in the second. Hit a 2-run homer in the sixth. Matt Kemp keeps rubbing his hand on the grass out there. Still doing it. He's out there futzing with something. Doesn't appear to be injured. It's like he's trying to clean some gunk off his hand or something.
Wondering maybe he got a little bit too much pine tar on his hand to get a grip on the ball, trying to wipe it off on the grass. Maybe something he touched out there on the fence when he made that running catch.
A ball and a strike to Jake Lamb. Goldie at second, 2 down. There's a strike, 1 and 2.
You know, the cleanup crew at the ballpark does go around and clean the signage on the outfield wall. Now, I wonder if there was something slippery when he touched the wall out there in right field that he didn't like that feeling on his throwing hand.
And you know he's thinking about that with Goldie at second. That one ties up Jake inside. And that's the end of the 8th inning. Matt Kemp, a nice running catch in the outfield to take extra bases away. And yeah, drags that right hand along the wall. Bottom 8 coming up. Diamondbacks lead the Padres 6-4. Hail the right-hander Daniel Hudson, who made his triumphant return from 2 Tommy John surgeries right here in this ballpark not too long ago. His 28th appearance this year, a 3.82 ERA.
Yeah, Daniel looking for a bounce-back outing today. He pitched that final game in Colorado, came in relief of Ruby De La Rosa, pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, walked 4. Ended up giving 5 runs, 3 of which were earned. David Peralta takes over in left field for Cliff Pennington with A.J. Pollock coming into man center.
Cliff Hale getting his defenders in there with a 6-4 lead. Bottom 8, 6 outs away from salvaging a series finale here. Top of the order, Matt Kemp going Hervey Solarte, Yonder Alonso. Kemp is 2 for 3, a homer and a single. And a home run is 6th of the year. Strike 1. Tapper in front of home plate. Castillo snatches it up and throws him out, 1 away. Brings up Solarte. Solarte 0 for 3. Ball 1. Chase Anderson in line for the win, despite the fact he gave up 3 homers for the second consecutive start. Padres had only 5 hits against Chase this afternoon. 3 of them were homers. But he falls behind Solarte 2-0. We've had just a combined 11 hits in the ball game. 6 of them have been home runs. .95 right by him. 2-1.
Just rushes a fastball by Solarte. Pretty good fastball hitter. Just off of that outside corner.
Popped him up. Nick Ahmed. 2 down in the 8th. Brings up Yonder Alonso. Alonso was 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 4th. Came in on the first Norris homer. Diamondback bullpen. Chafin, the lefty's been out there for a while. Brad Ziegler will get it cranked up now. And Chafin will have a seat. Shift is on for the Diamondbacks. It has been all day against Alonso. This, I imagine, Bob, is a time where you'd want him to try once again to hit away from that shift, because that would bring Upton up to the plate as the tying run.
That would be the conventional wisdom. Just get a runner on there. Get that tying run up in the batter's box. There's a lot of different approaches to hitting against a shift, but the worst one I ever heard was David Ortiz.
What was that?
Well, I'm not going to try to hit the ball the opposite field. The fans come out here to see me hit the ball in the seats. Oh,
it's all about the people.
Yeah.
Poppy for the people. That's in the seats.
Well, the people that pay you want to win ball games.
And they haven't won a whole lot this year. Yeah, when David Ortiz is not happy with some aspect of the situation, he'll let you know.
Oh, yeah.
Not shy about that. 2 balls and a strike. Alonso has hit safely in 6 straight, 10 of his last 11. Batting just under .360 during that stretch, but he's 0 for 2 here today. All smiles on that young man. It's full 3-2. Don't want to lose Alonso here and bring Upton up as the tying run. A roller to first. Goldie has it. And Daniel Hudson comes in and works a 1-2-3-8. He keeps it a 6-4 Diamondback lead.
A little trip into Todd's garage with Brad Ziegler, and one of the topics we discussed was that Sports Illustrated cover with Randy Jones in '76. Look at how far the ball is from his hand and the leg position. And Brad just looked at it and kind of paused. He said, wait a minute. And then he demonstrated to me in the dugout after the interview just how far baseball has come in terms of the mechanics of pitching from 1976 to 2015. The one thing he noticed is that Randy's leg was still down close to the mound. The ball was very far out of his hand. Talking about some of the more power that guys generate nowadays. But that entire interview, a look in the garage, and some of the great Padre error cards in Topps baseball history will be up on FoxSportsArizona.com. Kind of a cool trip. Those error cards from when everyone thought the Padres were going to Washington in '74, including Topps baseball cards.
Oops.
Yep.
Joaquin Benoit to work the ninth. Of course, Randy Jones, first of all, had some of the great baseball hair of all time. But you talk about your junk balling lefty who just got you out with 78-mile-an-hour fastballs.
You could catch him with a Kleenex. He did not throw hard. That's an understatement. I mean, he'd take a little off and then take a little more off of that and then take a little more off of that, and just about the time you were lulled into a 70-mile-an-hour fastball, he'd zip one in there at 82 and break your back.
Aaron Hill leads off the Diamondback ninth. And Aaron Hill gets this up in the air. Left field, Justin Upton has it. And yet, every time you watch an All-Star game from the mid or late 70s, Randy Jones is pitching. Yeah. This guy was a really good pitcher, won a Cy Young.
He just knew how to win. Big, sweeping, breaking ball. He would start behind left-handed hitters. They had no chance against him.
Look at how great those uniforms are. Oh, come on, man. That's classic. It's iconic. And yet they have these drab blue things. Now, these, the camouflage on Sunday, that's a lot better. But for whatever reason, they just will not go back to that brown and gold, which is just great. Wellington Castillo hits it sky high along the left field line. Amarista's over there with Barmas, or Solarte, pardon me. And there's Barmas. Now, there have been a lot of mock-ups, BB, that fans out there want the brown. And somebody tweeted this out not too long ago. You could come up with, some pretty cool-looking uniforms if you want to go back to the old colors. These are just artist mock-ups of what fans might like to see. And those are cool-looking uniforms right there. The old swinging Padre, the brown and gold. Brown. The campaign continues. You're not feeling it, huh?
Nah,
all right.
Not so much. I played against those brown unis.
Yeah, but that's a Padre. That's a San Diego Padre right there. That's what they're supposed to look like. A.J. Pollock's day off ended in the last inning when he came in as a defensive replacement. Hitless in the series. Padres in the ninth will have Upton, Norris, Venable, 4, 5, and 6. Brad Ziegler has been warming up with the bullpen.
That's all you need. What started out as an off day, you come in as a defensive replacement late in the game, you get an at-bat, and what do? You foul a ball off your front foot. Oh, up off the ankle that time.
Danny Dorn in the on-deck circle. He would hit for the pitcher. Pitcher spot is up next. AJ, that batting average under 300 for the first time since May 20th. He has been scuffling a bit lately. The reason for the day off today. 1-2 pitch. Reaches out and pokes it along the right field line. Kemp is there, drifting toward the seats. He's got it. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. Diamondbacks trying to win the finale. Here comes the Z-Man with a 6-4 lead. You are with MLB.com at Bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. You can get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablets. Gaslamp quarter here in San Diego, bottom 9. Diamondbacks trying to get out of here with a win, and Brad Ziegler is on to lock it down with a 6-4 lead.
No soft landing for Brad Ziegler today. Justin Upton, Derek Norris, and Will Venable, the first 3 scheduled hitters for the Padres. Norris has already homered twice in the ballgame.
And we know about Upton. He hit the big home run last night. Diamondback fans looking for a win here. Upton today 0 for 3. There's a strike, 0-1. Back home after the ball game. A nice homestand coming up. We start with 3 against the Dodgers. All 3 games for you here on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondback Live pregame show tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Alan Webster and Mike Bolsinger. The 0-2 to Upton. In there! Called strike 3. Pat Hoberg rings him up. 1 away.
Just a typical Brad Ziegler at bat. He threw the first sinker in there, got a called strike, then he scooted it in a little bit further to get a swinging strike, and then drops that frisbee-like slider right on the inside corner at the knees.
How about that location? Well, you got to be careful here with Norris. 2-run homer in the 4th, a solo homer in the 6th. His 10th and 11th home runs this year. This was Derek Norris's afternoon. We start in the 4th. And then this in the 6th. Oh, he just clubs the ball. A roller up the middle. Ahmed behind the bag. 2 down. Will Venable. Venable 0 for 3. D-backs an out away from snapping this 3-game losing streak and salvaging the series finale. Trying to avoid their first sweep here at Petco in 2 years. There's strike 1. Brad 6 pitches so far, 5 strikes. Shift is on for Venable. It's not a crazy overshift. Ahmed is still on the shortstop side of the second base bag right there, right in the middle of your screen. Aaron Hill a step or 2 back on the outfield grass at second. 2-1. Brett Wallace is out in the on-deck circle, the former ASU Sun Devil, who played for Pat Murphy there. He would hit for Amarista. 3-1. That's in there. He did not go, says Gary Cederstrom, and the Padres with 2 outs will get the tying run to the plates. So Wallace hits for Amarista. Two hits and 5 at bats with San Diego this year. Didn't make his Padres debut until last weekend at Chase Field. He spent the first 2.5 months of this year with their AAA club in El Paso. Hit .305 there with 8 homers.
Pinch hit against Josh Colmenter in the ball game last night in the 8th inning and popped up to second base.
Venable scoot up and take second uncontested. Defensive indifference. And a 1-0 count on Wallace.
Venable, pretty good chance he's going to take third as well.
And he's not even going to wait. Brett Wallace, you may remember from the Houston Astros. He last played in the majors in 2013 with Houston. Did not play in the big leagues last year. He split last season in AAA between the Orioles and the Blue Jays organizations. A ball and a strike. 2-1. Diamondbacks put the big shift on against Wallace. Everybody over there on the right-hand side. Brad Murphy hoping to tie this thing up with one swing, and why not? We've already seen 6 home runs hit in the ballgame. Padres down to their final strike. Got him, and the Diamondbacks win it 6-4. They salvage the series finale. They snap the 3-game losing streak, and we get out of here with a win.
Good to see the offense come to life today. It was a real struggle for Chase Anderson, but he got through 7 innings with the lead. The bullpen came in and slammed the door. Daniel Hudson with a perfect inning. Brad Ziegler with just the 2-out walk to Will Venom.
And 3 Diamondback homers. Wellington Castillo, David Peralta, and Jake Lamb all take it out of here. Our Arizona Federal Credit Union power